Good morning, class 12th. Welcome to your biology class. And today we are going to discuss our last lecture from our chapter, that is molecular basis of inheritance, and that the topic is DNA fingerprinting. Very interesting, very easy, because now you have already understood the molecular level information. You have idea that what is genome. So it is very easy for you to understand this topic, but very important topic, right, for us. Now, DNA fingerprinting. Usually, this everyone just always say that fingerprints. Matlab we are going to talk about some fingerprinting, but actually the meaning is we are going to talk about here sequences which are very identical in many individuals. It is this DNA fingerprinting. This was given by a scientist, that is Alec Jeffreys. This technique is used as a tool in a forensic test to identify the criminals as well as criminal investigation. Like in many serials we see that at the criminal place, we find sometime we find blood sample or some marks or some hair. So using those kind of samples, we always look for the criminal, that who can be involved in the case. So here this actually in that those kind of cases, DNA fingerprinting is the basic concept which play a major role. It's also used to settle down the paternity issues or sometimes disputes they are there, that this child is mine, or other mother father, they also say that no, this child is mine. So to solve out those different kind of issues, we use DNA fingerprinting. It is also used to find out the genetic diversity, to means how many genes they are different from each other. How do we look different from each other? That genetic diversity is also we are able to find with the DNA fingerprinting. And if you find out that how much we are diverse in the genetic level from each other, that is a very good one step for the studying the evolution, that from the beginning of our ancestors, how much genetic makeup, how much genes changed in our generation and the or in our parents. So that help to study the evolution also. So these are the applications of fingerprinting. Now, last lecture I talked about the Human Genome Project, and from that project we have information that maximum of our base pair sequences, they are same in all, means 99.9% of our human genome is same. What is left then? Only 0.1% base pair sequences are there through which a person different from other. Look at the ratio. 99.9% of our sequences we are same. Those sequences which make us unique, which may make us our identity from another person, that is only 0.1% base pair sequence. So then in this technique, DNA fingerprinting, what is actually done, this DNA was separated out on the density gradient method. As you know that density gradient method, higher one is settled down at the base, and those which are lower in the weight, they will find out the upper part. So here in this density gradient, when it was done, we got two peaks or two kind of fragments in our results. The major portion was the larger peak which was observed, that was the bulk DNA, and there was one small peak was observed. This small peak was for the DNA which is known as satellite DNA. One thing you need to understand, that our DNA fingerprinting is going to base on this satellite DNA. In whole fingerprinting, we are going to concentrate on our satellite DNA, because our concentration is not on the bulk DNA which is same in all the individual. Our concentration is on that DNA which is different in different individual, that is your satellite DNA. Now, in DNA fingerprinting, that is why we are concentrating on satellite DNA. And actually, this DNA, what is satellite DNA? This is the DNA which is responsible for unique different identity of a person. If somewhere in your viva or wherever in MCQs, if it is asked to you that which kind of DNA which makes your identity unique, which makes you different from the another person, that is called your satellite DNA. What is so special about this satellite DNA which I am concentrating about? This satellite DNA, it has very repetitive DNA sequences like AGTCA, AGTCA. This, if suppose I choose this sequence will repeat so many times. This type of DNA is known as satellite DNA or repetitive, or this is called repetitive DNA. Means in this DNA sequence has been repeated so many times, they are keep on repeating. So now the number that suppose in me IAGTCAC, it is repeating 2 times, maybe in my parents they are repeating 4 times. So these sequences, how many times they are repeating, that can be different in different individuals. So repetitive or satellite DNA, it is classified on the basis of 3 different points which I'm going to talk about with you. So first you need to understand that this satellite DNA is known as repetitive DNA. This repetitive satellite, or this repetitive, or you can say satellite DNA, actually we classify it, or we discuss its type on the basis of, see, these are not the types, these are the bases, these are the points on basis of which we are going to classify this repetitive and satellite DNA. So we classify it on the basis of AT ratio or CG ratio, as you know that A combined with T. So depending on their ratio, we classify them. Then sometimes length of sequence, that is also a major factor the which define the satellite DNA. Then number of times, how many number of times that sequence is repeating in an individual, this is called the copy number. On this is one of the major bases which define the which classify the satellite DNA. So on the basis of these points, AT or CG ratio, length of the particular sequence in the DNA, on the DNA, the number of times, how many times this particular sequence is repeating, the satellite DNA, it is of 2 types. Either they are known as mini satellite, or sometimes the second classification is the microsatellite. Mini satellite is actually the VNTRs, which are our base for fingerprinting. They are mini satellites, they are used as the variable number tandem repeats. Means how many times variable number tandem repeat is what, how many times a sequence is getting repeated, how many times a sequence is repeated. And these VNTRs, we are using them as a probe. Means we are using them as a radio label probe to find out the uh, difference between two individuals. So these VNTRs, they are the basic, they are the main sequences to find out the difference between two individuals in the DNA fingerprinting technique. One more time, let's see this. Satellite or repetitive DNA is of 2 types on the basis of these 3 points. They can be mini satellite, they can be microsatellite. Mini satellite, they are used as the variable number tandem repeats. Means how many times a sequence is repeated in an individual, and these are used as the probe in the DNA fingerprinting. How this technique is done, how this method is performed? First method is, because it is DNA based, so first is the taking out of DNA, taking out our DNA, isolation of DNA. Now you should know, this is the base, that where is this DNA present in the nucleus, right? So nucleus is present in a cell. A cell has a membrane. So it means if you want to take out this DNA from the cell, you first need to digest, you first need to break down this cell membrane, right? Only that is the method. Then all the organelles, once you break down all the organelles cell membrane, then you can extract your DNA. You usually in the laboratory we use chilled ethanol, and we used various enzymes to digest the membrane. In this way the DNA can be taken out. Now this DNA is a very long thread. So now the second purpose is to break it into small fragments. And what is the enzyme? In HGP also we use this enzyme. What are these enzymes? These are the endonucleases, molecular scissors restriction endonucleases. What will they do? They will cut DNA into small fragments. So now we are having DNA into small fragments. See, sometimes in our sample DNA amount is very less. At that time we use a technique that is called PCR. What is the full form of PCR? These are all technologies, cRDNA, PCR, these all technologies we are going to discuss in detail in your biotechnology. But here, just for your information, PCR is polymerase chain reaction. When you are having very less sample of DNA, that time this PCR is used to amplify, to make large copies of more number of copies of your DNA with the same sequences. So that PCR is used at the time of the when if you are having very small sample. Now you have DNA fragments. These DNA fragments, they were separated from each other using a gel technique which is known as gel electrophoresis. Now gel is not a stable kind of material, so our fragments, they will not be stay on the stable surface. To transfer them on a stable surface, we use the technique which is known as blotting. Blotting means transferring our fragments. Which fragments? DNA fragments. We transfer them from gel to the nitrocellulose membrane, which is more stable as compared to the gel. Now on this nitrocellulose membrane, hybridization means if these are our DNA fragments, these are combined with our now probes. What are you using as a probe? VNTRs, variable number tandem repeats, radio labeled VNTRs they were used. And when you are using now radio label thing, so these fragments they were observed now using autoradiography. Why we are using autoradiography? To identify these radio labeled VNTRs, means which to identify that in a person how many times these sequence is getting repeated. That can be find out with the autoradio. Let's understand this DNA fingerprinting with the help of an example. So here we are taking two individuals, individual A and individual B, right? Two individuals we are going to study, and three chromosomes, chromosome 1, 2 and 3. Here in chromosome 1, we are taking their homologous pairs of chromosomes. You know that these those pairs which are having same size and structure or shape. So now these on first pair, on first part, or you can say first one chromosome, there is 5 sequences which were repeated, and on the second one there were the 3 sequences which were repeated. So it means in chromosome 1, in individual A, 5 sequences were repeated, 1 2 3 4 5, and in second arm there was the second chromosome, there were 3 sequences which were repeated. In individual B, in chromosome 1, 9 sequences which were repeating, and in second chromosome there was, in second one its pair, 2 sequences which were repeated. If then the second chromosome, here 4 sequences were repeated, 1 2 3 4, and its pair 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 sequences were repeated. Then in individual B, this chromosome 2 has six sequences which were in repeating order, and then its pair has only one time this sequence was repeating. In chromosome 3, the 10 sequences were repeating, and its pair has 6 sequences and repeating. Then in individual B, 4 sequences were repeated, and its pair has 7 sequences were repeated. Now, when they were observed on the gel, so first because we have taken the number, so I have written here the number, that is, as you can see, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? So in individual A, now in individual A, the maximum time the sequence which was repeated, that was 10. So we will mark it as a 10. Its homologous pair, that was the 6. So mark it against the 6th. Then chromosome, then there was the 5 sequences were repeating, so we will mark it as a 5. And then same 3, then there was 4 and 7. So in this way you have marked that sequences were arranged on the gel. And if we talk about the individual B, 9 sequences were repeating, then its pair 2 sequences were repeated, then 7 sequences were repeating, then 4, and then 6, and then 1. So in this way we have arranged them, these DNA segments, they were arranged, these chromosome segments, they were arranged on the gel, right? Now this was the way to study the difference between two individuals, that in what way these sequences they were repeating in individuals. As you can see that in chromosome 1 in individual A, 5 sequences were repeated, but their number was different in the other individual. There were 9 sequences which were repeating in chromosome 1. In chromosome 2, 4 sequences were repeating in individual A, and 6 were repeating in individual B. So if you are suppose trying to solve a case, and at a crime scene you got a DNA sample like blood cells, or you get hair follicles, after performing the complete procedure of DNA fingerprinting or using PCR, why we are using PCR? Because our sample is very very less, so we are amplifying these segments with the help of using PCR. So these are the two individuals on which the police were having the doubt. So now this when the DNA, this which they took from the crime scene, they match them with these two individuals, and it was find out, if you just look at their sequences: 9, 7, 6, 4, 2, 1. And here also 9, then it was 7, 6, 4, 2, 1. And these sequences, they absolutely matched with the individual. So what was the conclusion? That the sequences, they matched with the individual B more as compared to individual A. So this confirmed that the individual B was definitely present at the crime scene. So this is one way of using DNA fingerprinting in these kind of situation. So using our VNTRs means the variable number tandem repeats, or you can say the how many times a sequence is getting repeated in a particular individual, we can use the DNA fingerprinting technique. So this is all about our chapter of molecular basis of inheritance.